Okay, I've cut down some 2x6s for the rafters. I'm going to do them on 2-foot centers. So first thing I did is I cut them down, made a template that worked good, and then I just cut each one down with a bird's mouth on each end, so they'll sit nice on the roof. My plan is to do one every 2-foot center, and then take purlins, probably 2x4s, and go 2-foot centers the other way across the top to attach the metal to. So right now, what I'm actually working on is pre-drilling some holes through the end of the joist, so that I can put the screws in there easier. I'm drilling these through, kind of with ones that would be toenailed, but I'm going to use screws again. This once again will make it easier. There we go. All right, I'm going to go ahead and attach the purlins now. I went ahead and screwed the little lookouts on the ends of each side. Thought it'd be a little easier now than later. So I'll go ahead and start putting these up then. Hey everybody. Well, it's after work. I came out, figured I'd work on the chicken coop a little bit. This past week has just been a lot of rain, really hot and humid and a lot of rain, which is great for July. We take all the rain we can get. Unfortunately, it's not very conducive to actually building anything or working outside a whole lot. I got home from work and thought I'd work out here a little bit. And then we had about a half an hour sun shower, dropped about a 1/4 inch of rain, which is nice. But let me tell you, the humidity is through the roof out here. It's probably only about 85, but the humidity's got to be close to 100%. I mean, it's just steamy out here. Today I'm going to be working on, today and tomorrow, going to be working on doing the soffit material, the fascia boards for the sides, and then starting on the tin. So I'll kind of show you what I'm doing as I go along. Okay, the fascia around the edges is going to be 7 inches tall. So I got a couple of 1x material chucked up in the saw. They are about 7 3/4 of an inch right now. So I'm just going to take a strip off the top, make them both 7 inches. So we'll get to cutting here. Got those cut down, and then even these little strips like this that come off of there, it's about 3/4 of an inch by an inch. A lot of times I'll use those for like tomato stakes in the garden and stuff. I don't throw them away. If they're no good, if they're kind of ratty or whatever, I might just use them for kindling in the stove. Other than that, they might be used in the garden for tomato stakes. Nothing goes to waste. Okay, I kind of pre-drilled some holes here in the fascia. Make it a little easier, because it'd be hard enough to hold it up there while I'm putting it in. And then I also set a couple of boards out here. So hopefully it'll set on top of that, and it'll help hold it also. Until I get it screwed in. We'll see if this works or doesn't. Pretty good. That'll work. Let's see here. Stay there a second, hopefully. Looks like it's going to work. These out. Okay, that went pretty good. I'll screw the ends in, and then we can do, I'll screw the end ones in, and then we can do the back one. And I'm going to fill in some wire mesh up in here so that the heat can get out, but no critters can get in there. So we'll get those ends screwed in, and then we'll see if we can maybe get the back done also today. that's the front and back fascia. I'll end up with like a 6-inch overhang, about 4-inch for ventilation. I would like to have had a little more than that, but the metal I'm using is a piece that I already had, and I can cut 3 pieces 88 inches, and that will give me a 6-inch overhang top and bottom. And I won't have any waste out of the sheet metal at all because it's 3 feet wide and this is 8 feet. So if I do 3 of them in a row, I'll get 9 feet. I'll have 6 inches on each side also, which is what I've got ready there. That should be good for ventilation. Like I said, I'll put wire in there to keep the critters out. I actually had a chicken coop back at my other house, and it had maybe about a 6-inch gap there for air. And one day I come out and there's a dead chicken on the roof of the coop. And I thought, did I leave a chicken out somehow and I didn't put him up and a hawk got him or something? I didn't know what had happened, how the chicken ended up on the roof and dead and half eaten. And then a couple days later, there was another chicken on the roof, dead. So I'm like, what the heck's going on? And I think what happened is somehow a raccoon figured out how to get on the roof, and then he was reaching in. The chickens roosted up high in that coop, so they were up near that vent, and the coon actually reached in and was grabbing the chickens and pulling them out of the coop through the eave. It took me forever to figure out how the heck they did that. So, you know, you think about it, a raccoon has nothing to do its entire life except figure out how to get to your chickens. And they're smart. And they'll keep trying and trying and trying until they figure out how to get to them. And of course, when they do figure it out, the reward is great. You know, all the chicken they can eat. So I'm trying to build this thing like a safe, basically, to try to keep all the other animals out and away from my chickens. But yeah, so I'm definitely putting screen in there, or not screen, actually a wire mesh, because screen they can chew through. So a wire mesh in there so they can't get in. And I also thought about maybe taking a piece of styrofoam, 1/2 inch or 1 inch thick, and putting on the roof on the inside. That way it'll keep that heat. You know, if you've ever been under a tin roof and the sun's beating on, it's like an oven. It'll help keep that heat out and let that air ventilation, a little airspace between it, keep the air cooler, and in the wintertime it should keep them a little warmer in there also. So kind of debating on doing that possibly. So anyway, it's getting a little later today. I'll probably have to call it good for today, but then the next day we'll come and we'll fill in the soffits on the side, and then we'll be ready to cut the metal and put the metal up there. Here's the boards I'm using for the fascia. It's a 1x material. It's about 7.5 inches tall, which is about what I needed. So I laid out where I need to put this, pre-drill the holes for the screws, and then I'll cut the ends on the miter, and we'll go and put that on the chicken coop. Okay, I was able to get 3 pieces of tin, 88 inches long out of that drop that I had, which is the perfect amount for doing the chicken coop. And the 3 pieces will give me 9 feet of coverage, and I've got 8 foot for the coop. So if you're cutting metal, you definitely want to wear your earplugs and your safety glasses. Gloves wouldn't be a bad idea either, but those sparks really weren't that bad. So basically, now we need to get ready. I need to find some nails, which I believe I have nails laying here, and with some rubber grommets on them or neoprene washers, and start putting that stuff on the coop. Okay, I have a few more nails to put in there and just be secured. I'll tell you, those nails are not easy to drive, and that old rough sawn oak, they're tough. And I hurt my arm a couple weeks ago, so it makes hammering with my right arm pretty painful. So I've been trying to hammer with the left, and I'm not as good with my left hand. Plus, if you try to drive those nails in that oak, you really gotta hit them pretty hard. So anyway, we're getting there. A few more nails and we should have the tin roof on. Okay, we have the tin finished on the chicken coop. So I thought while the weather's pretty nice and it's not raining or too hot, we could take a walk down to the pond, feed the catfish and the bluegill, and then over to the blackberry patch and we'll pick some blackberries. Big old scoop of fish food here. I usually try to throw a scoop in here every couple days or something like that. Kind of keep the fish fed a little bit, give them a little something extra. The pond used to be clearer most of the time. Just the rain would make it a little muddy, but it seems like lately it's muddy all the time, and I'm kind of thinking it may be from the catfish are getting quite a bit bigger now, and maybe they kind of keep the silt stirred up. Because it used to be, it would be fairly clear. So it's kind of fun to sit and watch the fish anyway sometimes. Okay, it's just a short walk across the dam. The other blackberry patch is over the other side of that little horse barn over there. So we'll take a walk over there and see how many blackberries we can find. Well, it looks like most of them are red still, but there's a few nice black ones here. So maybe I'll get to picking, see if I can find enough black ones here to make a pie. There's pretty good sized blackberry patch here, so we'll get picking. Usually if they pull off easy, they're going to be good. If they're a little harder to pull off, then they're gonna be not quite as sweet. But I'll tell you, they're nothing better than a wild blackberry that's fully ripe like that one. Some of these may not make it to the blackberry bucket. Some of these just, I don't know what happens to them. They just disappear. Like maybe I eat them. This is you definitely earn your blackberries, because these blackberry bushes are full of thorns. Actually, a couple weeks ago, I kind of fell into a blackberry patch trying to reach that one that was just out of reach, and that's no fun, falling into a patch of these things. So I'm gonna get to picking.